will now be recorded.
Any doubts from previous topics?
So yesterday we discussed about user exits, and today we are going to see customer exits. So difference between user exit and customer exit is user exits are developed only for SD module, and customer exits are developed for all the modules in SAP ERP software component. So exits are nothing but places. So we have user exits and customer exits. So user exits are given only for SAP SD module, whereas customer exits are given for all SAP ERP modules. So all SAP ERP modules means SD, MM, FI, all modules customer exits are available. So user exits will be identified like this. So execute SC93 and in SC93 provide the T code for which T code you wanted to find out the exit. So you wanted to identify exit for enquiry, then provide the enquiry T code and then get the package. So once you have the package, get the main program. So once you have the main program, inside main program, use enhancement framework to implement your logic. This is the way of working with user exit. In previous session, we have implemented user exit by identifying the user exit by executing SC93 and getting the package and then identified the main program. Inside the main program, we have implemented logic under user exit save document prepared. So today also we are going to implement enhancement, but today we will use customer exit. So whenever you use user exit, customer exit, first of all, you need a requirement. So first, based on the requirement, you will go and search for the places. So today, what is our requirement? Our requirement is to, when bank information created through FI01 transaction, we need to validate country and region. So if country is entered and region not provided during the bank creation, we have to throw a message. So region is mandatory when country is given, or country is mandatory when region is given. So first we will go and see how standard bank creation will work. FI01 is the transaction to create the bank in SAP. To create the bank, you have to provide bank country and bank key. And then you have to provide the bank name and region and Sri Hyderabad and save. So when I save, it was created, the bank key information. So this information you can see by using transaction FI03. So standard SAP is accepting without providing the bank branch information or street information. So these are not mandatory to create the bank, but customer business need street is also mandatory whenever we are creating bank information. So to make this as a mandatory field or to inform user who is creating the bank saying that street is mandatory, you have to provide information to create the bank. Then how we can achieve this? By using enhancement technique. So to implement the logic, you need to identify the place where you will write your logic. So the place, how you will identify. So the place will be identified in this way. First, you need to execute transaction SC93 and provide your transaction for which transaction you are searching for the place. And then display. If you need user exits, then search in the main program. If you need customer exit, then get the package. So identify the package. Now execute transaction SMOD. SMOD is the transaction to search for the customer exits. Now click on F4, click on information system, provide the package which you copied previously, continue. And now you can see the exit which is available for FI01 transaction. Double click on it and then display. Now you can see this is the short description saying that it's a user exit for bank data and it has components. So in the components you can see function module. So this is the function module. So this function module purpose they have written here. So what for this function module is used? To check the bank account details. It's a user exit for checking entries whenever we provided in the bank. So if you double click in it, so it's a function module. It has import, export, changing tables, exception, source code logic. So whenever you have a requirement, so requirement here is when you are creating bank information and if you are not providing street, we have to say user street is mandatory. So street is a input. So this input has to come into your function module. So you have to check the import parameters where you have the street field or not. So click on F1, first check the technical name of this field. So screen field STRAS. So STRAS is the field. So search for this STRAS field inside the importing parameter. So this is BNKA bank data. So check inside for the field STRAS. So we have STRAS field, street information. So this parameter I_BNKA will bring me the user entered value into the exit level. So if user entered value, it will come here. If user does not enter, then I_BNKA has this street value as blank. So now I have the input. So when we have the input, we can check and implement logic in the source code. You can go inside the source code. So here you can check import parameters. So here already some logic is there, which is checking city. So they are checking if the city value is blank, they are passing a message saying that city is mandatory. Now we will also use the same logic to make region is a mandatory. So this place is suitable. So then what we have to do, copy this enhancement, whatever you found, Now go to CMOD transaction. So first of all, you need a requirement. Based on the requirement, identify for the places. So always don't get confused whether it is user exit, customer exit. Whenever you see exit and that exit is identified through program and the logic inside the program is through perform, then it is a user exit. So perform is followed by user exit. So customer exit is nothing but it's as a function model inside. Even though description maintained as user exit, don't confuse, it's a customer exit. Customer exits are always function models. How customer exits are identified? So customer exits are identified through SC93, get the enter the T code. So here we need place for FI01, but we will not choose the program. We will get the package here. Once you have the package, then go to SMOD transaction, and in SMOD transaction, provide the package and get the exit place. Once you have the place, verify the components inside the place and that place is suitable for your requirement. Then create a project in CMOD transaction. Project is nothing but implementation. Logic implementation is carried in CMOD transaction. So for our transaction requirement, we identified a place. This place has a component function module. Inside the function module, I can see import parameter is having the region details, bank data. So I can see this data is coming at the runtime. So now I am going to use this to implement my logic. So copy the enhancement. Now go to CMOD transaction to implement the logic. So now create your enhancement of bank. So I'm giving G Sanjay and the bank and click on create. So this is enhancement for bank data. So now save it under local object. Now go to enhancement assignments. So here provide your component which is identified in SMOD and click on enter. So when you enter it, you can see there is a message saying that already this was used in another project, GFDRES. So this is a disadvantages in customer exit. So if already the place is used in a project, then the same place cannot be used in another project. So either you have to delete it or deactivate it before using. So now I will deactivate or delete this one. So to delete, again go to CMOD transaction, and what was the project it is saying? GFDRES. So GFDRES. So if I go inside this, I can see the same place already used in this project. And inside this, they have already written the logic. So now I'm going to delete this. To delete, first you need to deactivate the project. So project has been undone and then you have to delete it. Now, if you click on display, you can see the project does not exist. So now you can use this place inside your project. Now save and click on components. Now double click on exit and double click on include. Now go in change mode. So here our requirement is region. So if ORT01 is city information. So what is our field? STRAS. Street is STRAS. If BNKA STRAS is initial, message street is mandatory. Pretty print, save, check, activate. Now activate your project, come back, activate everything, and go in change mode and activate this. So you have to see the everything is in green color. Then only your project is activated. Now come back, again activate your project. So not this one. So this is our project, activate it. So our project now, it is in active status. So you can see everything is in green color. So now you can test your requirement. Now execute FI01 and provide bank key, enter bank name, and region I'm giving as Andhra, and I'm not giving any other details, trying to save. So when we save, what was the message we are getting? Street is mandatory. From where this message is coming? From our custom logic. So if you double click on this message, why this is not coming? Okay, leave it. So it was not allowing until you enter information here, street information. Street John Kennedy. So this is my street name. So save. Now it was accepted. So I'll place a breakpoint in my project and I'll show you how this is working. So display components. So let me place a breakpoint here and then run this T code again. So providing the bank name information and then region. Now try to save. So when you click on save, you can see the call stack here. In the desktop too, you can see the calling sequence. So from FI01, a screen 0110 was called, and this screen has the logic in PAI. In PAI, we have this user exit. So this user exit was called by this program, and this is the event exit. So this is our function module. Inside this function module, we have written our logic. So now I underscore BNKA is what? I underscore BNKA is function module import parameter. So if you go to this exit, so this is import parameter. I underscore BNKA is import parameter. So this import parameter is already filled with the data. So if you click on BNKA, so which is filled with the data. So this data is nothing but whatever you entered in the screen. So whatever the data you entered in the screen, that information through calling sequence, the standard program has been given as a input to your function model. So input is nothing but import parameter. For this import parameter, standard process given data, whatever you entered in the screen to your import parameter. So that's where import parameters are having the values, whatever you entered in the screen. Now you have values in the screen. So here STRAS is region, it is blank. So when it is blank, your message will trigger and it will stop user not to proceed further until he enter the street information. So now when you enter street information and save, again the place was called. So if you go to the import parameter, whatever screen level you entered values which are coming to function module import. So F6, now the message was not triggered because STRAS has value. Street has value. That's where your message is not triggered. And finally, it's saved data. So this is example for customer exit. So customer exit, user exit. So any meaning of exit means nothing but a place. So our task is to find out the place. So why we are searching for the place? To implement a logic. Why you need to implement the logic? Because there is a business need. So business need is saying that standard process is not fulfilling our requirement. We wanted to add some more logic inside the standard. So to add that logic, we are breaking standard process, and we were first identifying the place to break that process. And once we find the suitable place, then we can go and implement our logic. But user exit, how do you find that is different? And customer exit, how you can find that is that process is different. You have to remember the path. How can we search and get the customer exit or user exit? And we will see one more requirement also. So what is our requirement is, so in purchase order transaction, purchase order change transaction, we wanted to add a new field at the item level. So purchase order change, during the purchase order change or purchase order T code or purchase order T code ME51N. So in purchase order T code, no, ME21N or 22N. So in purchase order T code, we are going to add a custom field, a new field at item level. So ME22 is a standard T code. In the standard T code, we are going to add a custom field. So how can we add a custom field in standard T code? So first let me go to ME22N. If you go to the ME22N, so where you have, this is header section, and this is item overview section, and this is item section. So if you come to the item section, in item you have different tabs: material data, quantities and weights, and delivery schedule. So like this, I wanted to add one more tab with the name customer data. So inside this customer data, I wanted to add a field here like product ID. So I wanted to add a field called product ID. So how can I add in this particular tab the product ID? So this is a standard SAP T code. So in standard SAP T code, how can we add our fields information in a tab? So that we will see. So to add any, so this is also a change for the T code. So whenever it is a enhancement, your task is first identify the place. Is it a validation or adding a field or adding a new tab, whatever it is, that is a request, enhancement request. Whenever you have the request, first thing you need to identify the place. So how can you identify the places, available places is get this T code and execute SC93, provide the T code and have the package. Once you have the package, go to SMOD and enter your package details and find out the available places. And once you have the places, check the import export parameters, and if the place is suitable for your requirement, you can use it, and by creating a project. That is the process. Now, so let me execute SC93 transaction, SC93, and provide your T code and get the package. So this is the package. Now, once you have the package, now go to SMOD transaction. In the information system, provide your package and click on continue. So these are all the places available. So out of this place, you have to search for your related requirement. So to fulfill your requirement, which place is suitable? So my requirement is to add a new field in customer data tab. So I need a place which is supposed to help us to add field in the purchase order T code level, item level. So how can you know? By reading the short description? One way we can identify, otherwise by double click on the enhancement and go inside and check the components. So components level, it says like this is a exit to transfer item data to subscreen, and this is enhancement for AMPL checks. And if you go to inside, so it has I underscore AMPL. So I underscore AMPL is the import. So but ours is purchase order. So this is not a purchase order related. This is something different, manufacturing parts. So this will not suitable for our requirement. So in this way, you have to identify manually the places which is suitable for your need. Either through short description or go inside and check the import export parameter. Enhancement, document overview, number range, control, import data screens in purchase order, customer fields in purchasing document. So customer fields in purchasing document, let me check this. Display and components. So if you can see, we have function module exit. This is function module exits, and what it says, export data to customer subscreen for purchasing document header, and export data to customer subscreen for purchasing document header. So import data, purchasing document, export data to customer subscreen for purchasing document item. So this seems to be fulfill our requirement. So this is having I underscore CI EKPO. So EKPO CI, okay. So this has a structure, item structure. So this will be suitable, but only place is not sufficient. So you should also have a screen, because this is you are going to add field inside the screen, right? So you need a screen to enhance. So you need a screen also, and also you need a include where your field to be added. So here in the screen we have to add a new field, right? So we need a field structure to be also added. So if you have function module, screen, and include, then only you can add a field inside a standard T code. These three are important. So include is nothing but a structure. So inside the structure, if you add the field, that field will is ready. And once you have the field, then you can use the screen to call the field inside the standard transaction. And once the field is available in the transaction, to pass the data and to read the data from the screen, we are going to use this function modules. So 16 is saying export data to customer subscreen. So it is saying that by using this function module, we can export data into screen level and import data. By using this from the screen level values, we can import it into SAP database table. So why we need this include? To add our field. Why we need screen? Newly added field to display in the standard T code level, we need screen. And why we need this exits, function module exit, to deal with the data. So to export the data or to import the data. So all these three are required. Now where we wanted to add the field in the item level. So you have to extend this structure. So double click on EKPO DB. Okay, so you have to do it from creating a project. So copy this and then go to CMOD transaction. So create a project. So G Sanjay ME22. Click on create. So this is enhancement on ME22 N T code. This is screen enhancement. I am going to add a new field in the standard T code. Now save it as local object. Now go to enhancement assignments, enter your place, enter. So this was already used in a package, in a project. So now go to again CMO transaction. And what was the project? So GPO underscore ENH. So this is already used here. Okay, some logic is added for catalog ID. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll deactivate or delete that project in CMOD transaction. So first deactivate and delete. Save as local up. Now this project was deleted. So you can create your project. Enter. Now save. Enhancement, components. So now this is fresh, you can use it. So first thing you have to enhance your structure, EKPO, because this is item you are going to enhance. So why this is not taking? So go in change mode, components, double click, yeah. So here I'm going to add a field called product ID and choose types and product ID. If you want, you can create a new data element, or you can use any standard data element also. I am using a standard data element, character 10. Now save, check, and activate. So it will take some time because this include, which is going to add your field in table called EKPO, standard table. So standard table needs to be get enhanced. So obviously it will take some time. So meanwhile it is getting added, I'll show you the table. EKPO. So if you go inside this EKPO, you have this includes, CA includes. So CA includes which are created by SAP for the screen enhancement purpose. So you can see this is the include. CI EKPODB is a include which is created by SAP and they have added here. So why they have created this CA includes? To enhance the standard SAP's screen. So if anybody wants to add a new custom fields into the standard SAP T code level, so they have to extend the table as well. So that's the reason what SAP was created. Uh, they have created CA includes in EKPO table so that users, if anybody wants to extend table, they can go and add new fields to here. So whenever you have added any field, automatically it will be coming into EKPO table. So we have added field in EKPO-DB. So that is coming into EKPO. So still this is going on. So once that is active added in the table level, so after that you can go and implement a screen level change. So this field you can call it into your screen. Is it stuck or some what happened? CMod. So this is our project component. So once you have added your field into this include, so second you need to extend your screen. So screen will be need to be extended. So how do you know which screen has to be extended? So this is information you can get it from SMOD transaction. So in SMOD transaction, when you provided the place, so the screen, so for PO item, what is the screen they are using? 0111. So this screen you need to extend because you want your new field to be added at the PO item level. What happened? CDS DSGR is inconsistent in an active version. What is this? Enhancement category. So this is active only, but don't know from where the dump is coming. So I can see my product ID is added. So even you can see this same field from EK pivot table. In EK pivot table, you can find this field. So product ID, which is added here under this include. So now table level field was added. So now this field you have to be add in screen level. So for that you have to go CMOD transaction. In the CMOD transaction, use this screen, double click, click on maintain in original language and then go to the layout. So here we already have a catalog ID. So now go and get the other field. So product ID. So product ID field, which is from where your include name has to provide. So let me close this. I will open it in remote desktop. Save. So go to CMOD, provide your project name, click on change, go to components. So here in this screen, you have to add your field. So go to layout. So already one field is there, CIEKPODB. So from this include, you have to get your product ID. So enter this -ZZ product ID. So this is your field. Product ID does not exist. Then what is the field we have? So ZZ product. So this is the field. Okay. Select this one and click on continue and add your field under this catalog ID and create a text field for this saying that this is the text field and name is product ID and then save, check, activate, continue. Now go to the flow logic and save, check, activate your screen. So what we have done, first we created a field in structure and then we have added that field into the screen. Now field is available on screen, but this field has to be come into the screen level, right? For that we have to use this one 016. This function module help us to pass field values into the screen level. So here like this, you can also add your field. So ZZ product underscore ID. So product underscore ID, some value I'm giving like HA124. So this is my product ID. Save, check, activate. So now come back and activate your project. So we have added field in the structure and enhanced screen. And then from the screen, we were populating one value into the ME22 screen level. So now activate, now go back, call your transaction code ME22N. So now go to item section, customer data. So you can see the new field product ID was added and the data which is coming here. So to add the field inside the standard transaction, what is the process? First, you have to identify the place. So place will be identified like this. So go to SE93, enter your T code, get the package and go to SMOD. So in SMOD transaction, find out the places. Once you have the places, by reading the documentation or checking inside function module import export parameters, so you can identify whether it will suitable to your requirement or not. So once you find the place, so there is a place which is available. So once you have the place, to add a new field into the standard transaction, you need three things here. So one is you need function module exist. And another one is you need screen exit. And another one is you need structure. These three are required. So whatever the field you wanted to add in transaction ME22N, a new field to be added, right? So when you wanted to add any field in the transaction, let's say I wanted to add ZZ business partner ID. I wanted to add this field. So when you wanted to add this field, first you have to add this in the structure. So if you need to add in header level, so here there are two structures, CI EKKO DB and CI EKPO DB. So one structure representing header and another structure representing item. So if you wanted to add this one in header, you have to extend this with the new field. If you wanted to add item, you need to extend with the new field. So first the structure needs to be enhanced. Once this is done, in the screen exit, you have to enhance a screen. So that screen information you can identify from a smart transaction. So in the ME22N, where this field to be visible, so you have to identify the screen, related screen. So in this case, it is 111. So in this screen, we have added our field, whatever we need to see in the screen level, that is added in the screen level. Once screen level we have added, now the field is visible, but data, how the data will be passed here, business partner 234, how the data will come. So the data will be coming from the function module exit. So in the function module exit, the screen field information we are mapping. So the logic part is in here. So screen exit is responsible to display the fields and structure is responsible to hold the field information, and function module is responsible for logic. So this function module exit, it will export the data to ME22N screen and it will import the data from ME22N screen to your database. So try to add one more field as like I created, right? Same way you just try to create one more field in ME22N transaction and see whether you are able to add this particular field in item level or not. Like business partner ID, I said, right, just now. So create a business partner ID on top of catalog ID and see whether you are able to see the field or not, and then pass data using exit 16 and see whether the data also coming into your screen or not. So any doubts so far?
Hello, sir. Can we add tabs like customer data to the standard screen?
We can add it. That facility SAP has to provide. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So for more details, I strongly recommend you to go to this PPT. We have a PPT on enhancements. If you go inside this, a lot of examples are there. But only problem from your guys' side is once you completed, tested, you have to revert your changes because that changes will impact standard functionalities. Here,
Yes.
few more examples are there. If anybody interested, you can go and steps are detail we have mentioned. So this is customer master data, uh, transaction level, some requirement where whatever the data we entered in the screen, whenever user click on save, we used to store the data in a flat file. So this is one requirement. And this is MC94, which there is a transaction, and in the transaction, customer they wanted to see two options, like they wanted to go to create material, change material from this transaction under extras customer functions tab. So how can we enable this? How can we make customer to go from MC94 to create material and change material T code. So that is also we have here. And this is one more. There is a standard SAP program DP95. In that program, we have few input fields. Those are not mandatory, but business saying that we need to be maintained as a mandatory. Then how can we change standard SAP program behavior? That is also maintained here. If anybody interested, you can go through these as well. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions, doubts. I'll clarify. Okay, if no other questions, we can wind up for the day. Thank you.